Okay, so a little transparency moment. I deal with anxiousness. I deal with anxiety. I deal with overthinking. And I have just been trying to figure out, like, where is it coming from? And what can I do? Like, how can I manage this? How can I get rid of this? Like, I don't want to keep overthinking. I don't want to keep being anxious. I don't want to keep anticipating the worst case scenario, you know? And so I've really been trying to figure that out, and I can't. It's like I've been praying, like, God, like, what is this? Like, why do I keep dealing with this thing? And it wasn't until, like, a couple weeks ago, my pastor started this sermon series called Arresting Anxiousness. And as soon as I like saw like what he was speaking on, I was like, okay, God, like this is for me. Okay, like this is my time to like really sit and really take notes and inventory of my life. So I just wanted to share some of the notes from the sermon that I took with him, from him or whatever. So yesterday sermon was I'm Arresting Anxiousness part 2. So he did part 1 last Sunday, and then he did part 2 this past Sunday. And then basically he's just saying like anxiousness can be a symptom of an anemic prayer life. It doesn't mean you don't have one. It just means that the one you have is lacking iron. And he goes on to explain what that iron is. And it's like, what does your prayer life look like? Are you being specific in your prayers? Like, are you being open and honest and transparent with him? Or are you pretending with God? Because God can't fix what you won't admit. So it's like, okay, like I get it. Like I try to be as honest as possible with God, and I've only like recently started to do that because it's like I was embarrassed, I was ashamed, but before like this sermon even came out, I realized I'm like, okay, like I can't expect God to fix my situation if I'm not being truthful with him. It's like he already knows, so just admit it. Like, what are you afraid of? Like, you know? So that's something that I've recently started doing, and it's been a game changer for me because it's like I feel free. You know, it's like I don't walk away from that prayer still feeling that burden. It's like I'm giving it to you. I'm laying it at your feet. I'm letting you know what it is, and do with it what you will, God. I don't take it, you know? So another part of it was like submissive prayer. And when he talks about submissive prayer, he talks about why God allows you to sit in your anxiousness. And it's because he's trying to cultivate a prayer life that's so deep in you that when God removes that anxiousness from you, you don't remove your prayer life. You know, like it's like when that anxiousness leaves you, you're not leaving that prayer life. You're not pulling back from him. And that's something that I've realized like I'm guilty of. It's like when I'm in a thing, I'm praying, God, then I'm bombarding heaven, like God, like please, like free me, you know? And as soon as he frees me from that thing, I get lax. I start to pull back. I'm not in my word as much. I'm not praying as much. I'm not worshiping him as much. And it's like, God is like, okay, well, I freed you from this and you pulled back. Now I'm going to put you in something else in order for you to pray to me, in order for me to get them prayers out of you, for me to, you know, get those heartfelt, those specific, those raw prayers. Like, okay, I'm going to put you back in something else. And sometimes you think like, God, why am I doing, like, dealing with this? Like, why me? Like, what did I do to deserve this? It's like you start thinking about, like, is this something I did in high school, like in college? Like, you finally paying me back for that? Like, but it's like, no. Like, God is like, no. It's like, because when I had you in the middle of crisis, all I heard from was you. You was calling me all day, every day. But as soon as I took you out of that crisis, I don't hear from you as much. And God doesn't want that for us. And he really, like, hit me over the head and woke me up with that one, because I was just like, I got you. I get it. I understand. And then he goes on, and he just talks about a serial prayer life. And that's basically like, through whatever, in whatever, can your prayer life withstand it? Do you have an unwavering prayer life, unyielding, an unrelenting prayer life? It's like, when you're discouraged, when you're disappointed, when you're facing doubt, can your prayers pull you through that? And that one kind of like snuck up on me and was like, tapped me on the shoulder. And it's like, can it? And one thing about me, like, I grew up in church. So I've always, like, had a relationship with him for myself. I know scripture, I know Bible, but it's just like, now that I'm older, it's like, I've forgotten some of those things. And I know I need to, like, get back in my word more. I know I need to pray more. And so when situations arise, it's just like, okay, this is God prompting me to pray. It's God prompting me and letting me know, like, he needs more from me. I've pulled back and he's trying to pull me back in. And it's like, okay, I get it. And one of the, like, most, like, probably, like, one of the most, like, gut punching things he said to me in his sermon was, God will make people sleep on you. He will make people disappear on you. It's like, when you going through something and you can't find nobody, or the one person you want to run to isn't available, and then you become upset and think like, oh, like, dang, like, when I'm going through something, who's there for me? And it's like, God's like, I did that, not them. I did that because I need you to call on me. You so busy running to them every time something go wrong, every time you need something. What about me? You not calling on me. I need you to run to me. So until you run to me and you cultivate that prayer life, I'm going to keep allowing that person to sleep on you. And I was like, okay, I get it. I understand. And so I just wanted to share it with you guys, because I know some of you can relate. I know some of you probably deal with anxiousness as well, and maybe you don't know what the root of yours is. But I just ask that you go watch their sermon, and I hope it blesses you just as much as it blessed me. It's called I'm Arresting Anxiousness, Pastor Darius Daniels. You can go onto his YouTube channel, and it's Change Church in Gwinnett, Georgia.